Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, what if the very thing you're missing is the key to unlocking a love you've never imagined? Today, we uncover how devastating loss propelled a young girl toward an extraordinary little way, proving that even the smallest acts can ignite a world of change. But can this unconventional approach withstand the scrutiny of others? Have you ever felt that your daily actions were too insignificant to matter? That true greatness requires grand gestures and dramatic sacrifices. In a dimly lit infirmary in 1897, a young nun lay dying, her breath labored, her body ravaged by tuberculosis. This is the story of Thérèse of Lisieux, who discovered that the path to extraordinary impact lies not in dramatic gestures, but in the power of small acts done with great love. Picture yourself in the bustling marketplace of Alençon, France, 1877. The air is rich with the scent of fresh bread and ripe fruit. 4-year-old Thérèse clutches her mother's hand, transfixed by a street performer juggling bright red apples. Each arc through the air represents the perfect rhythm of her world. Then suddenly, her mother collapses. An apple falls, rolling across cobblestones as chaos erupts. In that moment, Thérèse's world shatters. The security she knew, the love that anchored her, vanishes like morning mist. The house that once rang with laughter becomes a cathedral of absence. Young Thérèse wanders from room to room, searching for traces of her mother's presence. The familiar scent of rose water from her mother's dresser grows fainter with each passing day. Her father's grief hangs heavy in the air, while her older sisters attempt to fill an unfillable void. You know this feeling, don't you? When loss carves out spaces within you that seem impossible to heal. In a world that prizes stoic strength, Thérèse was different. Tears came easily, emotions ran deep. Other children called her odd, too sensitive, too intense. But what they saw as weakness would become her greatest strength. Like you, perhaps, she felt things deeply, saw beauty in places others overlooked. Her heart, cracked open by loss, became a vessel for profound love. At 13, everything changed. During midnight mass on Christmas Eve, Thérèse experienced what she called her complete conversion. The timid, oversensitive child found an inner strength that surprised everyone. She knew with unshakable certainty that she must become a Carmelite nun, but the world had other ideas. Have you felt that burning certainty about your path, only to have others try to extinguish your flame? The Carmelite convent in Lisieux stood like a fortress of stone and silence. At 15, Thérèse finally entered its austere walls. Gone were the comforts of home, replaced by cold cells and rigid routines. The silence that others found peaceful felt like a weight on her sensitive soul. Each day brought new challenges: the physical demands of convent life, the emotional isolation, the pressure to conform to centuries-old traditions. Yet within these constraints, she would discover something revolutionary. It happened while mending a habit, of all things. Thread weaving through worn fabric, Thérèse had an epiphany that would change everything. Every small act, when done with great love, becomes sacred. The careful stitches, the swept floors, the kind word to a struggling sister, these weren't distractions from holiness. They were holiness itself. She began writing about her little way, a radical idea that true spirituality lives not in grand gestures, but in small acts of love. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. Not everyone understood. Fellow nuns questioned her approach. In the hierarchy of holiness, where dramatic sacrifices and visible suffering ranked highest, Thérèse's little way seemed inadequate. But she persisted, finding God in the mundane moments others overlooked. When was the last time you stood firm in your truth while others doubted? Then came the tuberculosis diagnosis. Each breath became a struggle, each movement an act of will. But the physical pain wasn't the worst part. Thérèse experienced what mystics call the dark night of the soul, profound spiritual doubt and emptiness. The God she had loved so completely seemed absent. Yet in this darkness, her little way proved its worth. She continued performing small acts of love, even when they brought no comfort. On September 30, 1897, Thérèse died. She was just 24. By worldly standards, her life seemed unremarkable. She never traveled beyond her convent walls, never founded schools or hospitals, never performed dramatic miracles. But her writings, published after her death, revealed the extraordinary power of ordinary love. Her autobiography, Story of a Soul, became a spiritual classic, touching millions who felt overwhelmed by life's complexities. This isn't just Thérèse's story, it's yours too. In a world obsessed with grand gestures and viral moments, her message is more relevant than ever. Your daily choices matter. The email written with kindness, the patient moment with a frustrated colleague, the small act of courage when no one's watching. These aren't just tasks to check off. They're opportunities to transform your world, one tiny action at a time. Here's your challenge. For 1 week, approach every task, no matter how small, as an opportunity for extraordinary love. Don't wait for big moments. Create meaning in the mundane. Like Thérèse, let your ordinary actions become vessels for extraordinary impact. Because sometimes the most revolutionary act is simply doing small things with great love. Remember that fallen apple in the marketplace. What seemed like an ending became a beginning. Thérèse transformed her deepest wound into her greatest gift. What will you do with yours? The power to change the world lies not in dramatic gestures, but in the accumulated weight of small acts done with great love. This is your little way. How will you begin? On the next episode of Goddesses, imagine, after Thérèse's profound love transformed her convent, what would happen if that love was met with brutal force? Next week, we journey to Pakistan, where a young girl dared to believe in the power of education. Her light shone so brightly, it threatened the darkness around her. Don't miss Malala Yousafzai's extraordinary story of courage and resilience as she emerges as one of our future shapers under 30. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course. Be an unstoppable woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/god. Thanks for watching.